Hey, Fireplace people. I did a video a while ago on how to clean this glass on this fireplace right here. And on the video where I told you how to clean the glass, I said after it cools, if you use either vinegar or water, but if you just get paper towels and you rub it in the ash and then rub the ash on the glass, it will clean it. And I'll put a link to that video. It'll pop up at the end of this video if you want to go watch that video. But there's a better way that I've learned over years of using this, that you can clean it while it's still hot. And I know they say don't put water on it, etc. So I'm going to show you, the glass is clean now. After it gets a little bit dirty and suited up, I'm going to show you how I clean it. And I'll cut that in there. Okay, as you can see, it's getting kind of carbon buildup on the inside. And on these stoves, when you turn it down to low heat, you move that little lever down there to the left there, right there, and that's low. Well, when you go low, it tends to smolder a little bit, and that's when you get this carbon buildup. So the best way I've seen to clean this is you can use the old way, which I'll have at the end of this video, or you can open up your doors all the way. And as you can see, there's some carbon buildup there. And I just want to let these cool for maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I have plain water with a couple of paper towels in there. Now, you don't want to throw cold water on here because you can crack the glass. But I've been doing it this way for years now. And I just kind of get a little water and I kind of sprinkle it on there to see how hot it is. And you can tell the water almost sizzles away and washes the dirt away. So as I throw some water on there to steam away the dirt, I'm cooling the glass a little bit. And then after I, cool the glass down a little bit with some water, I'm just sprinkling a little water on there. And again, you see the steam coming up. If the steam comes up too much to where it burns your face, it's too hot. But then I'll touch this and see how well it'll hold. And then I just wipe it. It's still a little hot right now. The water's kind of splattering off. So I'm going to let it cool because it's not on direct heat. It's cooling now. But it's still a little hot because I'm getting the splatter that the water is almost sizzling off. So I'm going to let it cool down for a little bit more. And then I'm going to, and I'll do the other one. This one, because I have the tools behind it, I don't open the door all the way. So it stays a little bit hotter. So I usually do that one second. But this one will cool off pretty quick once you get it out of the way. Throw some water on it and see how. It's still sizzling a little bit. Not too bad. So I should be able to. Yeah, it's still a little hot, but as it cools, you'll get this black stuff, and sometimes your rag will get too hot, so I just flip it over. Then if it gets too hot, I stick it back in the water. See how cold it is. Let it cool down a little bit, and go back. If I got enough water in here, and each time I do this, it cools it, and then as this gets dirt on it, the carbon, I can come back here to these corners and go ahead while it's hot and clean that up. And now I'll, man, this rag gets really hot. That's why I keep a bowl of water here to cool it off so I can hold it. And now I'm going to go ahead and finish the bottom. Gets black. I'll use a clean side. Oh, I can't do it though. It's too hot. I got to stick it in water. So I stick it in a little cold water so I can hold it. And then with this wet rag, I can really just clean it while it's hot And then if I close it, you can see how clean that is versus the carbon buildup on the other side. And I found that's the best way to clean it is when it's glass. Now, it cleans best when the glass is kind of, the more you do it, it can get too cool and then it doesn't cause steam. What I just did there was a little hot. I probably should have let it cool for another maybe 5 or so minutes and let it cool down. And then I wouldn't have got that steam. Now this one I heated back up. So I'm going to open this back up. And because I just heated that back up, I'm even going to get more steam. But you want it just warm enough to where it creates a little steam and bubbles, but not so warm that it kind of like disintegrates. And again, if I took this whole bucket of water and threw it on there, I'd probably break the glass. But by doing the little sprinkles, I can tell how hot the glass is. If it like immediately just steams and sizzles away, you can tell it's kind of dripping down. That tells me it's not too hot. If it was too hot, it wouldn't drip down. It would evaporate before it gets to the bottom. So it's still a little hot than I would normally do it. But I'm just using the water and letting the water steam up and beat off so I can go ahead and again, this is just one paper towel. I'm going to get a little wet, mainly to cool it, not so much to do anything else. Still a little hot. Until it's too hot because it's heating up the cloth so bad that I can barely hold it. This is just a thin coat, and that is the best way I've seen to clean this glass to where I don't have to scrub so much. I let the water and the steam and the fizzle, the sizzling of the water, remove the carbon, and then I just kind of wipe it off. So I'm telling you, keeping this glass clean is kind of a pain. If you do it when it's light like I just did it, it's a lot easier. Now, when I let this go through the night and it kind of smolders and I'll throw some firewood in it through the night, in the morning it'll have a pretty thick coat. The thicker the carbon, the hotter it is when you put the water on it in order to bubble it away. But if it's really thick, when I sprinkle that water on it, it literally just cracks and flakes the carbon off if it's really thick. And, you know, I may have to use a second paper towel with a little bit more water, but that is how I clean it. Now, I'll put a link here in the top left corner here of the first video I did where you can do it when it's not hot, after it's cool. The warmer it is, the easier it is to clean. All right, hope that helps. We'll end that there.